Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch President. Tom, were you satisfied with what you heard from Christopher Wray on Hunter Biden?
No, because it's more of the same. Deeply troubled. He suggests that it's going to be a personnel action. What we need is a criminal investigation of the criminal investigation of Hunter Biden, and an investigation, by the way, which necessarily implicates and involves his father. This goes back to October 2020. The FBI again is bearing information, it looks like, about Hunter Biden, using the same type of language that Democrats and outside supporters of Joe Biden were using to try to dismiss the allegations. And also, according to the whistleblowers, it looks like working with or allied with Democrats in Congress who are trying to blow up Senator Grassley's and Senator Johnson's investigation of Hunter Biden, an investigation, for instance, which highlighted that Hunter had gotten millions of dollars from the widow of a Russian oligarch. So I don't understand why it is still, 3 years after they got the laptop in December of 2019, reportedly, they're still agonizing over whether to prosecute Hunter Biden. And I think it's because of the necessarily that it implicates the president. And the rules are, according to what we were told during the Mueller investigation, that if there's a conflict of interest by the Justice Department, there has to be a special counsel appointed. And one obviously hasn't been appointed, and that's a scandal, too. So the FBI and the DOJ are showing why they can't be trusted to handle this investigation once again.
So, Tom, if this is true and the FBI was providing cover for Hunter Biden by, saying that the things that were found in this laptop were misinformation, how does that impact the current investigation into him out of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware?
Because it's a good question, because it's not clear how it did impact it. I mean, the whistleblowers are coming forward a year, almost 2 years after it happened. Did it derail or change the direction of the investigation? Some of the material allegedly was hidden from other FBI individuals who would have a need to see it and review it. Buried in the bowels of the FBI computer networks. That's what the allegation is. And, now we're learning that the Baltimore office, according to Director Wray of the FBI, is helping the Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office. That alone tells you there's something up. If this was a serious investigation, it'd be run out of the DOJ here in town in Washington, D.C., and they'd have the appropriate number of people and resources targeting it. Instead, it's up in the middle of nowhere as far as Washington, D.C. is concerned in terms of the bureaucracy and the focus of Justice Department investigations. They don't want anything to happen. That's why they're burying it up in Delaware.
Yeah, it seems like it's a little bit of a home game as well for Hunter, which begs the question of why. Meantime, Tom, FBI Director Wray is saying the border has a, quote, wide array of criminal threats and security is a significant issue. That's all well and good. Knowing is half the battle. I think you'd agree with that. So what is the FBI doing about it?
Well, if the FBI is doing anything, it would be news to pretty much everyone on the border. It would be news to the mayors of New York and Washington, D.C., who are complaining about being overwhelmed. It's not only a national security crisis, as Director Wray has highlighted, but it's also resulting in crimes throughout the land as foreign nationals who aren't supposed to be here, in addition to the crime of crossing the border and remaining here illegally, are engaged in other criminal activity, some of which is deadly. The FBI, I would like to hear some more leadership from federal law enforcement about the security issues at the border, and we're not getting it. And so it was a relief to see at least Wray mention it. But look, Wray is a weak FBI director. He's not going to take on what I believe to be the deep state. And, we've had open borders for nearly 2 years, and now we're hearing some noise from the FBI about national security or security issues. Previously, what we're hearing out of the FBI and the Justice Department is noise about parents complaining about school curriculum. The priorities are screwed up.
Yeah, let's not forget.
It's no, I was just going to say, and when it comes to the border, it's not even really the FBI, it's DHS. And you have Alejandro Mayorkas, Department of Homeland Security Secretary, on his watch. Over 50 people on the terror watch list we know of have tried to sneak into our country. Over 500,000 this year, known gotaways. So you just have to wonder who those people are in that mix.
Tom Fitton, thank you very much as always, friend. We appreciate it.